Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday, August the 19th, and we are here to look at the new releases that are coming out this week. And every day of the week, we look at a different genre. On Mondays, today, we are going to be looking at cozy mysteries. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. They'll be on Storm's channel if you want to do some sprinting that way. Our next sprints are on Tuesday, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I do those 3 times a week, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday afternoon. And let me move this a little bit closer. All right. There are a lot of them today. We're not going to get to them all. So we will finish those up probably on Friday. I didn't even put all of them into my little list here because there are just so many, which is good. Good morning, Kim. How was your weekend? Oh, it is? Oh, I thought it was tomorrow. Hi, Mary. Another week. August is moving fast. How did your show go? Always seem to be lots of cozies. They crank those out, don't they? And lots of authors. Good afternoon, Helen. How are you doing? All right. First up is a series I do read. It's a historical mystery series by Carla Simpson. This is A Deadly Scandal. Oh, okay. I was going off of the schedule on Discord, so maybe things have changed. All right, book 9 in this series. Well, murder is such a nasty business. This is a series, if you are liking the Veronica Speedwell and have read everything, this is a good series to get to. Michaela Forsyth has returned from her safari in Africa with Lily and her great aunt. She survived to fight another day, which is more than can be said for one Anthony Collingwood, the victim in the latest murder investigation thrust upon her by Sir Avery of the Special Services Agency. But she made an agreement in order to save Brody's life, and now she must honor it. It's a particularly sensitive case, as the victim is a close friend of the Prince of Wales and a man who apparently led a double life. As she tries to track down who this man was and why someone would want him dead, the trail leads from Brussels to Frankfurt and uncovers everything from an affair with an exotic actress to clandestine schemes and a scandal that could endanger England and the whole of the empire. As murder and scandal threaten to undermine the succession to the throne, there is a further complication in the case. Sir Avery insists that Brody must assist Michaela in the investigation. They haven't seen each other since the argument that sent Michaela off to Africa and out of Brody's life. Can they work together to solve this murder, and thwart foreign spies and assassins that are determined to stop them at all costs, or is the break between them irrevocable? Like I say, if you're looking for a Veronica Speedwell type, that is a good one. Mary says, show was okay, didn't light the world on fire, but it was nice to be out and talking with folks, whether hell or good, until the very end when the heavens opened up, still drying stuff out. Rain is good, but not when you're out in it. Good morning, Elena. How you doing? Did you have a good weekend? And Mary says, hello. A Fatal Feast at Bramsford Manor by Darcy Hannah, first in Food and Spirits series. From the author of the charming Beacon Bake Shop Mysteries. It isn't how Chef Bridget Bunny McBride imagined her own cooking show unfolding, but if preparing historic meals with a modern flair is what it takes to get her cooking on the air, she can deliver, even if her dinner guest is a ghost. That's the premise of the new reality TV show Food and Spirits, where Chef Bunny teams up with ghost hunter Brett Bloom and psychic medium Gif McGrady to visit haunted locales around the world and tempt lingering spirits back to the table with a beloved meal. Excuse me. For their first episode, the Food and Spirits team sets off to investigate Bramford Manor, a historic house turned famously haunted hotel in picturesque Hampshire England. The sprawling estate is said to be home to the Mistletoe Bride, a young woman who died in the 18th century, the victim of a tragic accident on her Christmas wedding night. Disliking spooks but loving food, Bunny leaves the spectral search to the pros and focuses on the feast, creating a traditional English holiday wedding dinner complete with a gorgeous prime rib, Yorkshire pudding, and rustic apple tarts. It's a sumptuous meal she hopes will entice the ghostly mistletoe bride to take a seat and join them while the cameras roll. But Bunny's task is made more difficult when someone steals a boning knife from her custom kit. Alas, when the blade finally turns up again in the chest of an all-too-human dinner guest, Bunny's woes only grow as she is named a lead suspect in the case. Interesting concept. Excuse me. A Scandal in Mayfair by Catherine Shellman. Fifth in the Lily Adler Historical Mysteries. Just finished reading Under a Veiled Moon, and I will finish my other book. Awesome! Good job. You did. Good. And closing in on 300 subscribers. Thank you very much. Good morning, Mary. Slowly but surely, we are growing. And Mary is asking if you're doing okay, Kim. Hope so. Hope you had some good news. Last I think we were together, you were hoping for some news. This next one I have also purchased. I love her Scottish series, and now she's doing an Irish one. An Irish Bookshop Murder by Lucy Connolly, first in the Mercy McCarthy mysteries. Wait, didn't we? We didn't do. Hang on. Patricia K. You know I'm in trouble with myself when I use both my names. We didn't read A Scandal in Mayfair. We said the title. I'm just so eager to keep moving. London, 1817. The London season is beginning once more, and Lily Adler's return to her home on Half Moon Street feels different this year. No longer a recent widow, she has a life and friends waiting for her. Lily also has new responsibilities in the form of her protege, Amelia, the sister of her longtime friend Jack Hartley, who is escaping her own brush with scandal and murder. It doesn't take long for Lily's growing reputation as a lady of quality who can discreetly find what is missing or solve what is puzzling to bring a desperate young woman to her doorstep. But helping her means unraveling a tangled web of family secrets. Soon, a missing will, a dead body, and the threat of blackmail leave Lily facing danger every way she turns. The glittering society of Mayfair conceals many secrets, and the back alleys of London hide even more. Lily Adler will need to find the connection between them quickly if she wants to stop a killer before it's too late. Now this one. An Irish Bookshop Murder. After receiving an unexpected inheritance from her grandfather, Mercy and her twin sister Lizzie are now the proud owners of a charming antique bookshop in the tiny village of Shamrock Cove. I don't think a place in Ireland would actually call themselves that. But before they can take in the beautiful view of the sea, one of their neighbors drops dead. Mercy finds the judge, a well-respected man who lives next door, dying on his own doorstep. She rushes to help, but with his final words, he accuses Mercy of murder. Most of the new neighbors hear his words, and with suspicion pointing at Mercy, she decides to investigate the case to clear her name. Searching amongst the judge's old books, Mercy uncovers letters proving several of the townsfolk had reason to dislike the judge. But was it the local pub landlord, the kindly cook, or neighborly knitter who killed him? Then Mercy's chief suspect turns up dead, and she receives a threatening note typed on paper from her own bookstore. Ireland was supposed to be a fresh start for Mercy and Lizzie, but dead bodies keep turning up. Does Mercy have what it takes to nail the culprit, or will the killer close the book on her time in this charming Irish village? I hope it holds up to the Scottish one. The Scottish one is good. This one sounds a little fluffier, but only one way to find out. Okay, I had lab work last Tuesday. Follow up tomorrow. Okay. I have the first Lily Adler checked out on Hoopla. If it's a good series, you have some more to read. That's a good feeling. Death and the Visitors, second in the Mary Shelley series. 1814. Kind of like the cover, I think. 1814, London. Foreign diplomats are descending on London in advance of the Congress of Vienna meetings to formulate a new peace plan for Europe following Napoleon's downfall. Mary and Jane's father, political philosopher William Godwin, is hosting a gathering with an advance party of Russian royal staff. The Russians are enthusiastic followers of Mary's late mother, philosopher and women's rights advocate Mary Wollstonecraft, which leads to a lively dinner discussion. Following their visit, Jane overhears her father reassuring his pushiest creditor that the Russians have pledged diamonds to support his publishing venture, the Juvenile Library, relieving his financial burden. But when Godwin is told the man who promised the diamonds was pulled from the River Thames, his dire financial problems are further complicated by the suspicion that the family may have been involved in the murder. Stepsisters Mary and Jane resolve to find the real killer to clear the family name. Coming to their aid is Godwin's disciple, the dashing poet Percy Shelley, who seems increasingly devoted to Mary despite the fact that he is married. And a young woman Jane befriends turns out to be the mistress of the celebrated poet and infamous lover, Lord Byron. As both sisters find themselves perhaps dangerously captivated by the poets, their proximity to the truth of the Russians' murder puts them in far greater peril. Dot, dot. Death Scene, a Witch City Mystery. I say congrats. There I am in awe with all you keep these series in your mind. Me. Good practice. I will say, though, as I'm getting older, the memory is not what it used to be. I used to know stuff. Death Scene by Carol J. Perry, 14th in A Witch City Mystery. Between documenting the progress of the movie, should I read that first one? It takes a lot for Salem locals to get excited about their historic Massachusetts town being known as the Witch City. But when a major studio arrives to shoot a witchcraft-themed movie, folks go Hollywood. For WICH-TV's program director and chief documentary maker Lee Barrett, however, the project may come complete with a real-life death scene. Between documenting the progress of the movie, corralling starstruck autograph seekers and fans, and managing unmanageable traffic on Salem's narrow streets, Lee and her police detective husband, Pete Mondello, are beyond busy. Even Lee's best friend, River North tarot card reader and practicing witch, gets in on the action, landing a job as a stand-in and body double. But it only takes one interview for Lee to realize that the male and female leads, whose roles include torrid love scenes, despise each other. Yet the problem is short-lived, literally. When the gorgeous lead actress is found dead on a set stage to replicate the room where suspected witches were tried in 1692, and her on-screen lover in full costume is discovered sound asleep in her trailer, the hunt is on for a killer on the loose. Nevertheless, the producer decrees the show must go on. Now, with help from River, Lee's aunt Ibby, and Orion, a remarkably clairvoyant gentleman cat, sorting out a witch's brew of secrets, sorcery, and special effects may turn Lee's documentary into her own final act. Having to volunteer at the library bookstore today. Oh, this is extra session, something for someone who can't make it. Always great to go to the library. Oh, absolutely. Oof. Although I'd be getting in trouble. Get back and do. No, I want to look over here. Haunted to Death by Frank Anthony Polito, third in the Domestic Partners in Crime mystery series. They describe it as Heart to Heart via HGTV on All Hallows Eve. Except Heart to Heart is a really, I'm going to say it, old reference. People won't get it. I do. But people. Kicking off season 3 of their hit reality show, Domestic Partners is a home renovation project with an irresistible hook. Woods Hall is a lavish 1913 manor home in the Detroit suburb of Pleasant Woods, once belonging to the town's founding family. It also comes with its own ghost. 25 years ago, during a Halloween night party, automotive heiress and beauty queen Emma Wheeler Woods, wearing a white Princess Diana wedding gown as a costume, fell from a third-floor balcony to her death, or was she pushed? Fiona Forrest recently inherited the home after learning she was Emma's daughter, and she and her fiancé have hired the domestic partners to restore the family's property to its original splendor. But ghostly sightings, injured crew, secret passageways, locked rooms, and sabotage beg the question, is the place actually haunted, or perhaps more practically, was Fiona's mother murdered? Hustling to have work finished in time to shoot the finale on Halloween, the anniversary of Emma's mysterious death, do Peter and JP have a ghost of a chance of also solving a cold case from a quarter of a century ago before someone else takes a fall? We're going to be getting a lot of those as fall/Halloween is coming closer. Love Heart to Heart. I agree, it was a great show. My DVR is set to record anytime it comes on, anywhere. That's fantastic. Now that is devotion. But it is an older reference. So perhaps that is the target audience for the book. I mean, seriously, you bring up something from 10 years ago and they go, what? In the Event of Murder by Cynthia Kuhn, second in Starlit Bookshop Mysteries. Nestled on the banks of a breathtaking Rocky Mountain river and dotted with delightful boutiques and galleries, Silvercrest, Colorado is a book lover's paradise. Bookseller and literary event planner Emma Stars is looking forward to attending the annual Silvercrest Library Gala, a glamorous evening with celebrities including the legendary Whitney Wilton, currently on the hit crime show Chasers, and her niece, party planner to the stars, Lyra Wilton. Or Lyra, don't know. Gala week is full of exciting activities honoring both page and screen, and library board president Tabitha Baxter is basking in the glow of her successful launch until Lyra is found dead. With the gala only days away, the board asks Emma for help. Despite Tabitha, her long-standing nemesis, bristling over the choice, Emma agrees, even though she's already in charge of a classic mystery panel at her family's bookstore, Starlight Books, which turns out to have its own challenges. Meanwhile, Whitney, who is aware of Emma's sleuthing skills, begs her to find the killer. The case grows more complex with the disappearance of several priceless objects, an attack on one of the attending celebrities, and other predicaments. Emma searches for clues while handling every unexpected twist and turn leading up to the extravagant affair. But when the guest steps onto the red carpet, a killer still lurks in the shadows, and murder just might become the main event. I have a lot of shows set up, mostly old shows. That is certainly one way to have them show up in your life as a fun surprise. Are they also available on Amazon Prime? So you can watch all the time? Miss Morton and the Deadly Inheritance, third in the Miss Morton mysteries, by Catherine Lloyd. Miss Carolyn has doubts when she receives an urgent invitation from a London law firm to discuss her late father's estate. After all, the dishonored Earl of Morton died without a pound sterling to pass on to his two daughters. But while immersing herself in helping Mrs. Froggerton's capricious daughter navigate the high social season, Carolyn meets with a cagey lawyer, Mr. Smith, who shares life-altering news. The Earl composed a second will, leaving behind an undisclosed fortune. Mrs. Froggerton, however, is thoroughly unimpressed with the firm's conduct and suspicious of their true motives. His name is Mr. Smith. Her instinct proves right when the two ladies find the office ransacked, staff in turmoil, and Mr. Smith missing. The full weight of the situation doesn't sink in until Mr. Smith dies following a brutal attack on the street, discovered with an empty envelope bearing Carolyn's name in his pocket. With a connection forming between two deaths at the firm, Carolyn can't imagine why anyone would kill twice over the contents of a will. Further complicating matters is the amorous Mr. de Bloom, who claims his mother goaded the Earl into making bad investments and promises to link Carolyn to her inheritance and the disappearance of Susan, her younger sister. As Carolyn unwittingly becomes the center of both a criminal case and a sordid love triangle, she must tread with caution while seeking the truth, because someone is waiting to reduce her to nothing more than a signature on a dotted line. Murder in Vinland. Another historical mystery. Lots of them today. That's awesome. By Alyssa Maxwell, 12th in the Gilded Newport Mysteries. August 1901, a fundraiser for a new Rhode Island Audubon Society brings Emma to Vinland, the Viking-themed seaside home of her relative Florence Vanderbilt Twombly. Don't know. Where the guest of honor is Edith Roosevelt, wife of Vice President Theodore Roosevelt. Listening to the speakers and observing the ladies in attendance, Emma is struck by the contrast of the Viking warrior-inspired elements in the house and the admirable but admittedly genteel cause of bird protection. Vinland bears the name of the Vikings' first landfall in North America, but in this room today there is most assuredly no one to fear. Emma's observation of harmless philanthropy is proven wrong the following morning when one of Mrs. Twombly's, that's how I'm going to say it, house guests from the luncheon becomes mysteriously and dangerously ill. Accompanying police detective Jesse White, Emma discovers a box of petit fours supposedly sent by Mrs. Roosevelt. They promptly rule out the second lady as a suspect, but someone has poisoned the cakes. Soon another box of desserts, as well as letters tainted with ink containing caustic toxins, show up at other Grand Newport cottages. Are the ladies from the luncheon being targeted? Emma and Jesse must sort through possible motives and means, because now more than the birds need protection. And that's all we have time for. I have not read that series. I am more UK centric rather than US ones. That's just my taste. Sounds like a good series, though. The bells, indeed. Probably things like Quincy, Ironsides, Emergency, Columbo, Perry Mason. Good shows. Very good shows. I like the Gilded Newport. Ah, good. Alrighty. Hope everyone has a great day and hope to see you tomorrow later for a short time. Yes. And hopefully I will not buy anything. Tomorrow's show will be mysteries and thrillers. And our next sprints again are tomorrow evening. Hope you're having a good Monday. Please take care of yourself. Read good books. I'm currently reading a book called Word Hunter by, last name is Sands. I can't think of the first name right now. And it's intriguing to me. It's about forensic linguistics. And the main character is a girl in Florida. You would think, higher class education background, but it's not. It is very redneck Florida, very poverty Florida. And but I'm learning a lot, so I'm enjoying it. I think I'm at 60%. I just started it yesterday, so I'm liking it. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Whoops. And we change scenes. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.